What it do, bedtime crew? Hey man, listen, I'm here with a new tier list video today. I'm ranking the current rivalries in the UFC. Now, this can be beefs, this can be fights that are going to happen, maybe fights that we're not sure if they're going to happen, but we kind of want them to happen. I hope you get the idea of this video, okay? Because I think it's a good idea. And yeah, boys, we got a lot of impressions coming with this one. All right, bruh. First things first, I'm going to start off with probably the one that the UFC wants to be the biggest rivalry right now, but it's just nowhere close. We're going to start off with McGregor versus Chandler. That's going C tier, you little fool of a ting. You little Bellator tick of a ting, mate. Just not the rivalry that we thought it was going to be, dude. I mean, Michael Chandler is... I don't know why he's taking the glazing approach, but it's just not working. He's trying to glaze McGregor. It's simply just not coaxing Conor at all. Conor's talking about fighting KSI, talking about fighting Gaethje, and then meanwhile, Michael Chandler's like, we're going to do this. We're going to do this right now. We're going to do this. Like, it's just not happening. So this is a C-tier rivalry. Just because I've lost all hype, I don't think it's going to happen. And if it does, McGregor's going to KO this guy inside one round anyway, so it doesn't really matter, does it? All right, we move on. And it was a shit tough season as well, so... get fucked. All right, we move on up the tier list with a much better rivalry that is going to happen very, very soon. I'm very excited for the press conference for this. The fight itself, it's going to be all right, I reckon. I think it's going to be a finish, but here's the fucking thing, you guys, right? Israel Adesanya fucking beats off the cartoons, dude. I'm not losing to this guy, dude. That's the fucking problem, dude. Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland. This is a B-tier rivalry. This is a pretty good little rivalry that we got going. I think Adesanya's doing his best to not mention Strickland in the build-up, which is really annoying. Like, he's just not talking about him at all. He's just like, yeah, you know, I'm preparing well. I'm ready to come here and get a good win. Like, just say something funny, bro. Like, or say something cringe, you know. I think he's saving all his anger for the presser, but man, I'm hyped for this press conference. This is a fun little beef to hold us over while we wait for bigger fights for Adesanya, and we'll talk about those soon. But yeah, man, I'm keen for this press conference. I can't wait to see Israel Adesanya stink up the joint in Sydney and get booed somehow by the Australian fans, because I can guarantee he's going to get on the mic and just be like, I'm going to take you out this white trash. I'm going to throw him out like a dumpster. Trust. Like, it's just going to be fucking terrible, but I'm here for it, all right? We move on down the tier list. Unfortunately, this is a rivalry where the fight itself is going to be really good, I think, but the actual beef, I just don't see these two having any sort of chemistry in terms of trash talk, right? You know, McGregor and Chandler, it's fun to watch McGregor just talk circles around Chandler and just troll the fuck out of him. You know, Sean Strickland and Israel Adesanya, same thing. It's funny to watch Sean Strickland just absolutely mug this fucking nerd. But this rivalry, I'm going to put Volkan Topuria. That's it. You know, it's fucking D tier, right? Topuria barely speaks English. Volk doesn't talk trash, you know. It's gonna be a boring press conference, but it's gonna be a good fight, you know. I'm the type of guy, I don't like to talk trash. I'll just have boring press conferences and good fights, you know. I just don't see any beef here. I think they're trying. I think Topuria is gonna try, but I feel like he's gonna be stuttering and stumbling, you know, like he's Curtis Blades. Botched, but you know, it just comes out sometimes, dude. But you know, just like Izzy, fuck, I could just keep going with the Adesanya jokes. But listen, bro, the Topuria Volkanovski beef just does not intrigue me whatsoever. I don't see any beef here, and I don't think this fight will be very competitive. I think Volkanovski's going to win pretty handedly, but at the same time, you know, it is a rivalry, so I had to put it on the tier list. But I just don't see much excitement in this. But we move on with a beef that I think right now is kind of low. It's kind of simmering, but I think as we get closer to the fight, it's going to pick up. One guy in particular is really, really selling the shit out of it. We're going to do Costa Chimaev. I approve 100% right now, bro. But there's no talking right now, dude. That's why it's C tier. We need some beef, man. We need these guys to see each other, or we need some fucking tweets, dude. Because I know that these two on a press conference is going to be funny as fuck. I know it's going to be a good beef and a really good fight. Like, one of those fights where you don't actually know what's going to happen. I think Chimaev's going to win in round one, but you just don't know. But right now, the beef's kind of simmering down, but it started off good, and it's going to get good, I think. So right now, we're going to leave it at C tier, but brother, this is going to be a good beef, all right? We move on to a beef that was building up, and then just abruptly fucking died. So it's kind of lost all of its hype. You're ruining it, fam. You're ruining it. Look at my lips. You're ruining it, bruv. All right. I'm putting Yuri Prochazka and Jamahal Hill in the D tier. Okay. This was going to be I still think this would be a sick fight when it happens. But now we don't know when it's going to happen. We don't know if it's going to be for a belt or, we don't know when it's going to happen. And the beef is kind of dead, bro. Like, it was cool when it was Jamahal Hill making fun of Yuri with the snow videos and all this shit. Like, it was a cool little beef they had building up. It was going to be a good fight, but now we don't really know. So it's D tier. All right. And that's it. Done. You're going to the D tier. That's it. Good luck selling your fight. That's it. All right. We're going to move on to the A tier, I believe, or maybe a B tier type rivalry. This one, I think, again, it's going to be a good fight. And I think it's going to pick up as it gets closer. There's been little hints, little jabs here and there, but, I'm going to put O'Malley and Cheeto at C tier for right now. Dude, imagine calling out Cheeto, dude. Like, that would suck so bad, dude. O'Malley is, like, low-key a good shit talker, but he kind of, like, hides it on his podcast, like, with that nobody gives a fuck about. When he gets to the press conference, he's going to be super awkward, but... O'Malley, he doesn't like Cheetos, so I think that makes this super exciting. I think it's going to end up being a B or an A tier beef, especially if we get a trilogy out of it. That would be cool. But yeah, bro, I think O'Malley Cheeto right now is a C tier, but it has A tier potential. We just need the build-up. We just need them to say, yep, we're going to fucking do this, right? Turn it around quick. Capitalize on the hype of the UFC, just promoting the fuck out of O'Malley. They literally cut Aljo from one loss. Dude, like, what the hell, man? But yeah, bro, O'Malley Cheeto, it's got good potential, but right now it's a little bit dead right now. All right, we need to pick it up. Okay, we move on to a beef in a higher weight class that has a really good storyline built in, and I think it has potential to happen quite soon. Realistically, if one of these guys wins his next fight, he could have this fight straight away, right? I'm going to say because of the storyline and because of the potential fight of this, all right, this is going to be higher than Jamahal Hill, Yuri Prochazka. I reckon Jamahal Hill and Alex Pereira has a lot of potential, dude, because we've got the storyline with Glover Teixeira. We've got this fucking stare down from 283. Alex Pereira, he's got a lot of fighting words to say to Jamahal Hill. I asked him what he thought about this fight, and he was just like, Chama. So he's really hyped for this fight. I think it's going to be a good beef, but until we get any sort of like furthering of the progress, like if Yuri Prochazka beats Alex Pereira, this rivalry is kind of dead. But if Alex Pereira beats Yuri Prochazka, we may be looking at this beef building up, boy. All right, let's move up the weight not up the weight classes. There's no fucking heavyweights in this shit because they're all boring. Let's move down the weight classes, but up in star power to the welterweight division, where I think this beef needs to happen in the UFC. Do I think it will actually happen? Probably not, because one side, he's been through a lot, man. He's in times like this, he's got to be graceful. Okay. I reckon B tier. Okay, Colby's a scumbag, man. Colby's a scumbag, man. The guy's a scumbag, man. I'll never fight that dude in the UFC, man. The guy's a scumbag, man. Karma's a mirror, man. Karma's gonna get that dude, man. I need to see Colby and Poirier beef, bro, because Colby Covington is one of my favorite fighters. Dustin Poirier, I like watching him fight, but I just find the blank is a scumbag memes that my channel has kind of fucking birthed pretty funny, dude. I like taking the piss out of Poirier from time to time. I would love to see Masvidal rolling around with Poirier too, being like, we're going to break this little dude's face. We're going to break this little individual's face. This dude is a terrible, terrible individual, dude. I did not have an Obama phone, and this little dude's going to find out why, dude. Like, I need this beef, bro, because this is like a real storyline that could be a S-tier fucking rivalry, S-tier press conference, S-tier beef. Obviously, in the fight, we know what's going to happen. Dustin Poirier is going to be left looking for the tissue box after that one. But, hey, bro, still could be a good rivalry. All right, still has potential. So I want to see this beef, and I think that as it stands, there's enough toxicity, there's enough trash talk where this is a B-tier rivalry. This would be a huge fight if it got made. Okay, now we are at the last two rivalries on the tier list. You may notice that the A tier is empty. Okay, And I think this is the best beef that you can make on the tier. Right. I never said this is the best rivalry. I just said that we're one of that there's no better rivalry, right? That's all I said, right? I said I'm the most exciting fighter on the tier list, right? I never said that I'm better than everybody else. I just said that they're not as good as me, right? I think this Adesanya Duplessis shit is going to capture like mainstream attention when it happens. And maybe this is an early bold prediction, but dude, I'm feeling like this is going to be a 2-fight deal or like a 3-fight deal. I think Duplessis is going to win the first one, and then we're going to have a big rematch, you know. And when Adesanya loses this first fight, he's going to be like, trust, I needed the motivation. Yeah, he said he's African. Yeah, we're gonna see what color his blood is when I make it bleed. Trust, like he's just gonna bring out. He's like, I'm gonna chop you down like a family tree. Trust, like we're gonna see all this fucking beef. We're gonna see Adesanya just spaz out on the mic after he loses and just cope. And we're gonna see Duplessis go full heel after he beats Izzy. I can feel it. And we're gonna get a brutal KO in the rematch, I believe. I can just see this being similar to the Pereira fight. That's why this is A tier to me, because I feel like this has Pereira Adesanya type rivalry things where I feel like this guy just has something over Izzy mentally where he can beat him at least once in the UFC and finish him. And then Adesanya is going to come back with a vengeance. So I think this is going to be an A-tier rivalry. It's already a fucking huge deal, I feel like. And like I said, I'm getting mainstream vibes of this. So that's an A-tier rivalry. Last one. It's S tier. Okay, this shit is literally like a fucking movie storyline. And there's potentially another chapter coming. And this is how excited I am. This is my honest reaction. Chama, luta es, como es, chama. Dude, Adesanya Pereira is like the fucking best rivalry in the UFC that we've had in a while, dude. Especially with McGregor out. You know, Adesanya fucking having like no real fun challenges until now. Who else, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of these divisions got really stale for a while because they had dominant top champions and the contenders just were just not interesting, really. You know, like Colby lost to Usman, you know. All these guys coming up, these fun guys, they kind of lost. So we were without like fun rivalries with beefs and finishes and shit. And this rivalry kind of brought back some hype to the UFC, some fucking mainstream like interest in a rivalry. So for that, this is an S tier beef in the UFC that could still continue. That's why it's on this list. It could still keep going. If Adesanya wins this next couple fights and Pereira wins the light heavyweight belt, we might see the trilogy, bro. So this is the best rivalry right now. But let me know what you guys think down below. What do you think of my tier list? Did I get any wrong? Did I miss any rivalries, any beefs that are going on right now? Let me know down below, boys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, bro. We're trying to hit 10K, bro. We're fucking close, dude. We are absolutely close, dude. And I'm hyped, bro. Because that 10K... I think I'm going to open the OnlyFans, boys. So make sure you sub to the channel. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Bedtime MMA. Go like my last post. It's actually a banger. And yeah, boys, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.